Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday. Today we're going to take a look at Summerset Group, and we're going to look at it on both the New Zealand market and also the Australian. Before I do, just remember the normal housekeeping that this is for education purposes only, definitely not intended to be personalised financial advice. For that, obviously you do need to go and have a chat to your own financial advisor. If, however, you're wanting me to review a stock or provide further education around the way I do my methodology, by all means, reach out, direct message me, comment below, all of that sort of thing, and I can do future videos for you. Let's take a look at Summerset. Now, Summerset, I've got on the screen here, is on the New Zealand market. I am recording this on Tuesday morning, so the market, it's only been open a few minutes, so we're only 8 cents down at this stage. The thing that I want to highlight here with Summerset is we've actually had 3 weeks in a row that have been downtrends, or the market has fallen. Whether that is an actual downtrend, I really don't know. But what I'm alluding to with this, something I heard yesterday, and it really did get me thinking actually, and that was someone was talking about how to invest into shares, how to get started. Now, their view was to look at things you use, you own, you like, you enjoy, and perhaps research those particular companies. Great point, I thought. So hence why let's look at Summerset. Many of us have family members, elderly relatives, or even people we know that are in retirement villages. So I thought Summerset would be a great place to start. Also, it is a request by another viewer, which is great. So why I wanted to allude that is, to me, that is a good place to start, is by looking at shares that you perhaps buy their products or you like them, that sort of thing. It's a great place to start. But it's just that, in my view, it's a start. So looking at the New Zealand market, like I just said, it has had 3 weeks in a row that have been down. So far this week, it is down as well. Whether that's going to continue, who knows? But these are things that we need to take into account. So let's go and put our moving averages on and see what that says. So if you watch me regularly, I use the 30 exponential. Here we go. And it's trading below that moving average. Okay. That to me would be an absolute stop. I wouldn't want to go any further. Just for the purpose of this, let's also put on the 15-period moving average, or 15-week, and see how that compares with it as well. Right, you can see back here, which is roughly at the end of March, you can see that blue line being the 15-week moving average crossed through the red line being the 30-week moving average, and it hasn't crossed to the upside. Whilst the share did rebound a little bit, it has continued to fall. So for me, that would be an absolute knockout. I wouldn't want to invest any further with this particular share, simply because I want to look for shares that are in upward trends. We will take this off and let's make a comparison between that and the NZSX 50 to see how that is. It is performing above the New Zealand main board, which is a good sign. However, for me, those big key indicators are those moving averages, which it is trading below. So I definitely wouldn't want to go any further with this particular share. Actually, let's just put on a 200-period moving average and just see how that looks as well. Let's just keep it at a simple moving average. It's really hit that moving average. The 200-period moving average, because it is such a long time frame, you're talking about 4 years really, an average, because I've got this on a weekly chart. So it does move very, very slowly, but because it's actually hit that, for me, this could indicate that this share is either going to be trading sideways or it is going to continue in a downward trajectory. So again, not something that I would really be wanting to look at. Going back here, let's just have a look at the 1 year chart and see what that's saying. To me, without putting any moving averages on, the 1 year is definitely in a downtrend. So we can see here that the last 3 days in a row for Summerset on the New Zealand market have been down days. That's really not painting a good picture in my view. Okay, so that's something you need to consider if you're looking at buying a share and you're thinking, oh, I've got family members in retirement villages, just using Summerset as an example. Definitely, by all means, identify it and then go and research it. And just using the methodology I use, it's not something that I would want to perhaps go and investigate any further. By all means, keep an eye on it, because sometimes shares do turn around, and there are certainly times where a share could be a very poor performer one year, and then give it a year or two, it can be a standout stellar share. So that is something to take into consideration, but not at the moment. Let's just have a look and see how it's performing on the Australian market. Almost a similar story, really. We've actually had 4 weeks in a row of downward pressure for Summerset. You can see here on both our stock exchange and the Australian one, they are paying regular dividends. I'll just flip back to the New Zealand, and you can see that as well. So the last dividend on the New Zealand market was basically 0.132 cents, and on the Australian market, it was 0.1012 cents. So very similar there. At the moment, it is trading at $10 on the Australian market, and Summerset is trading at $11 on the New Zealand market. Now, I just put those currency values into the ANZ currency calculator, and if you were wanting to buy Australian dollars, $10 is where it's trading at. It would cost you $11.17. So you're actually paying a premium based on the ANZ calculator of about 17 cents per share for Summerset. Why I'm doing that is because this particular person wanted to know about arbitrage opportunities. That is something you need to take into account, is the value of the currency exchange. Now, there are platforms out there that you can invest into both the New Zealand market and the Australian market at the same time, but you do have to take into account those cross rates and what they will actually charge you to do that. So that's worth noting as well. As for there being any potential arbitrage opportunities, I've said it before, I'm not into those sorts of opportunities. So I'm not looking at basically selling on one market and trying to buy on the next. I'll leave that up to you to decide. For me, though, it does look like on both markets, Summerset is really having a little bit of a tough time. Yes, it's still paying those dividends. I've said this before as well, that I do not solely invest into shares just because of the dividends they're paying, because shares can obviously fall a lot further than what the gains can be made with the dividends. So that's something that you do need to take into account as well. I really hope that's helped. It's certainly been a great share to have a look at, especially in light of what I heard yesterday about looking potentially for opportunities with products and companies that you do use yourself. And hey, why not? There's plenty of them. There's a lot here on our New Zealand market. We have phones, so who's not to say we're not using Spark, for example. We all use power, so let's look at the utility companies, that sort of thing. So definitely do your research. It is a great place to start, and it gives you ideas. So anyway, I really hope that's helped. Like I said, if you want any more help on share trading, or if there is a share you'd like me to take a look at and just put my methodology over it, more than happy to do so. Just reach out or leave a comment below and we can see what we can do. So until next week, take care.